"You're a beta male," she laughed as I caught her on a dating app. So I just nodded and walked away. Now her new alpha is in jail for embezzlement and she's living with her parents. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I've been a lurker on this sub for years, reading all the epic tales of karma and justice. I never thought I'd have a story of my own to share, but here we are. This isn't about me getting a multi-million-dollar settlement or anything. It's about a quiet, soul-deep kind of revenge. The kind that happens when you don't even have to lift a finger. Just get out of the way and let the universe do its work. Her name was Qley, and for 5 years, she was my entire world. We met in college, two art majors with big dreams and empty wallets. I was the planner, the steady one. I built our life piece by piece, brick by brick. While she was chasing trends and the next big thing, I was quietly building a career as a graphic designer. I wasn't flashy, but I was consistent. I worked hard, saved money, and bought a decent house in a quiet neighborhood. I paid for our vacations, a new car, and even helped her with her student loans when her creative pursuits weren't paying the bills. I was her anchor, her rock. At first, she loved it. She called me her safe place, her calm. But over the last year, things had changed. The compliments got shorter. The smiles felt more forced. The constant refrain, "Why can't you be more like him?" became a daily background hum in our lives. The him in question was always a new social media influencer, some guy with a flashy car, a private jet, or a crypto portfolio. "Look at this guy, Caleb," she'd say, scrolling through Instagram, her tone a mix of fascination and disappointment. "He just bought his girlfriend a Rolex for her birthday. You got me a nice dinner." Or, "My friend Sarah's boyfriend just surprised her with a weekend in Miami. We just stayed home and watched a movie. I just feel like you're too comfortable." The words stung, but I'd always brush them off. My comfort was a symptom of our stability, of the life I was building for us. A life where she didn't have to worry about bills or rent. A life where she could pursue her passions without the crushing pressure of a day job. I thought that was what she wanted. I thought that was love. Part 2. The betrayal and the calm exit. The night it all blew up was a Tuesday. I had just finished a huge project and was feeling good. I came home with a bottle of wine and her favorite takeout, ready to celebrate. But she was sitting on the couch, staring at her phone with this strange, almost giddy look on her face. Her thumbs were moving a mile a minute. I sat down next to her and put my arm around her. "What's up? You've been on that thing all night." She flinched and pulled her phone away, her face flushing. "Nothing. Just talking to Sarah about her wedding plans." I tried to let it go, but a nagging feeling settled in my gut. Qley had a habit of leaving her iPad open on the coffee table. I picked it up to check the weather, and a notification popped up on the screen. It was from a dating app one didn't recognize. The message read, "Hey, just saw your profile. You're even more beautiful than your photos." It was from a guy named Mason, a guy with a profile picture of him leaning against a red Ferrari. My blood ran cold. The takeout box slid from my hand, spilling fried rice all over the rug. My mind reeled. 5 years. A house. A life. All of it. I turned to her, the words a raw whisper. "Qley, what is this?" She looked from the fried rice on the floor to the iPad in my hand, and her composure shattered for a second. But then, a mask of cold arrogance settled on her face. She snatched the iPad from my hand. "Oh, that?" she said, her voice dripping with condescension. "It's nothing. I'm just exploring my options." The casual way she said it was a punch to the gut. "Exploring your options? We're engaged, Qley. We own a house together." She sighed, a dramatic, eye-rolling sigh. "Look, I can't live like this anymore, Mark. You're just so boring. You're stable, predictable. You buy me flowers and make me dinner. I want a man who takes risks, who lives life on the edge. And a dating app is how you find that." I asked, my voice cracking. She laughed then, a sharp, grating sound that will haunt me forever. A laugh full of contempt and disgust. "You're so cliché. Crying because your girlfriend is on a dating app. It's exactly why you're a beta male, Mark. You just don't get it. Mason, he understands what I need. He's a winner. He's a hustler." The words hung in the air, mocking and final. And in that moment, something inside me just broke. Not in a dramatic, angry way, but in a quiet, definitive way. The raw pain turned to clarity. She wasn't worth the anger. She wasn't worth a single tear. I looked at the mess of fried rice on the floor, the open wine bottle, and then back at her smug, entitled face. I just nodded. Okay, I said, my voice completely devoid of emotion. I understand. She seemed surprised by my lack of reaction. That's it. You're not going to fight for me. I shook my head slowly. No, I'm not. I turned, walked into our bedroom, and began to pack a bag. I grabbed a duffel, threw in some clothes, my laptop, and my passport. When I walked back out, she was still standing in the living room, a strange, bewildered expression on her face. She was expecting a fight, a chase. She was expecting me to beg. Instead, I just looked her in the eyes and said, I'm leaving. You can have the house. I'll have the deed transferred to your name in the morning. And you can have the car. All of it. She just stared, dumbfounded. I walked out the door and never looked back. Part 3. The quiet detachment. The next 3 months were a blur of silence. I crashed on my best friend Leo's couch, the only person I told the whole truth to. I told him everything, and he just listened, offering me a place to stay and the space to heal. He didn't tell me what to do or what to feel. He just let me be. I changed my phone number, deleted all my social media, and went completely dark. I threw myself into work, taking on every freelance project I could find. It was a way to numb the pain, to give my mind something to focus on besides the betrayal. The beta male comment had burrowed deep, a toxic little seed of doubt. But with every new project I finished, every paycheck I earned, I felt a little more of that doubt evaporate. I was building something new, something that was mine alone. I wasn't just working to keep her comfortable anymore. I was working for me. I started painting again, a hobby I'd abandoned years ago. I spent weekends hiking and exploring new cities. I was alone, but I wasn't lonely. I was finding myself again, the person I had been before she started molding me into the stable, predictable guy she'd now discarded. I still got updates through Leo. Qley had moved Mason into the house a week after I left. They were posting all over social media, him in the Ferrari, her in a new designer outfit, a constant parade of manufactured happiness. She was desperate to show the world she had upgraded. She was desperate to prove to everyone, and herself, that leaving me was the right choice. But the posts were hollow. The smiles didn't reach her eyes. Part 4. Karma hits hard. Karma, as they say, doesn't rush. It just waits for the perfect moment to strike. Mason, the hustler, wasn't a crypto king or a real estate mogul. He was a con artist. He was running a massive investment scam, a high-yield Ponzi scheme. The flashy car was leased. The private jets were rented. The money he showered on Qley and others was stolen. The story broke on a slow news day. A federal indictment, a raid, a massive investigation. Mason was arrested and jailed. The headlines were everywhere, and suddenly, Qley wasn't the girl with the flashy new boyfriend. She was the girl whose boyfriend was a federal criminal. Her social media was flooded with comments. People she had unfollowed and dismissed were now openly mocking her. The public embarrassment was swift and brutal. Leo showed me a screenshot of one of her posts. Sometimes the person you think you know is not who you thought they were. The comments were merciless. Oh, so now he's not a winner, Qley? Guess the alpha male wasn't so alpha after all. Looks like that boring man was the stable one after all. Qley's life began to unravel. Her creative pursuits had always been bankrolled by me. With Mason gone and his assets seized, she was left with nothing but the house, a house she couldn't afford on her own. She had no job, no savings, and a reputation in tatters. She had to sell the house, and I heard she moved back in with her parents. The alpha had left her with nothing but humiliation and a pile of debt. Part 5. The desperate attempts to return. The first contact came a month after Mason's arrest. My phone, with its new number, vibrated. It was a text from an unknown number. Hey Mark. It's me, Qley. I know this is a long shot, but I was thinking about you. I stared at it for a long time. I didn't respond. A day later, another one came. Are you okay? I've been so worried about you since everything happened. I deleted the messages without a word. The arrogance in her tone, the pretense that she was worried about me after what she did, was sickening. She was worried about herself. A week later, a call came from her mom. I answered it, expecting some sympathy, some explanation. Instead, it was an ambush. Her mom, Mark, Qley is a mess. She keeps talking about you, saying she made a mistake. You need to talk to her. She needs you right now. Me. She needs a job, not me. I'm not a rescue service. Her mom. That's not fair. You two had something special. She's been through a lot. Mason was a horrible person. Me. You're right. He was. Just like she was a horrible person for what she did. I hung up, my heart pounding, a cold, empty feeling in my stomach. A week after that, her best friend, Sarah, sent me a message on LinkedIn, the only place I hadn't gone dark. Sarah, Mark, please. You have to give her another chance. She's a different person now. She told me she finally understands what she lost. She said you were the one good thing she had. The words felt like a carefully crafted script. The one good thing she had. It was her way of trying to reel me back in, appealing to the part of me that had been her provider and her rock. I finally decided I had to shut it down for good. Part 6. The final reversal. The final encounter wasn't planned. I was at a mutual friend's engagement party. I had been dating someone new, a truly amazing woman named Amelia. She was a software engineer, brilliant and funny, and she made me feel seen in a way I hadn't felt in years. We were talking and laughing when I saw Qley across the room. She was alone, standing by the bar, and looked completely different. Her clothes were a few seasons out of date. Her face was drawn, and the confident arrogance she once wore like a cloak was gone. She saw me. Her eyes widened, and a flicker of something, hope, desperation, hunger, flashed in her eyes. She made a beeline for me, her gaze fixed. Mark, she said, her voice soft, tentative. I can't believe you're here. Amelia, sensing the shift, gently squeezed my hand. I squeezed back. Me, Qley. It's been a long time. She looked at Amelia, and then back at me. Who is this? Me. This is Amelia. My girlfriend. Qley's face fell. The words were a physical blow to her. She looked from me to Amelia, then back to me, the color draining from her face as she saw the effortless, genuine happiness in our interaction. I didn't know you were seeing someone. Look, can we talk for a minute? Alone. Amelia gave me a knowing look and excused herself. I braced myself. This was it. Her. Mark, I am so sorry. For everything. Mason. He was a complete fraud. He used me. I lost the house. I lost everything. And I've been thinking about us. All the time. I was such a fool. I had everything I ever wanted, and I threw it all away because I was chasing a fantasy. I know I said some terrible things, but I was so confused. She was crying now, but her tears felt hollow. This was an act she'd perfected, a performance for the one person she thought could fix her life. I want to fix this, Mark. I know you still care about me. I know you do. We were perfect together. We could be again. I'll do anything. I'll change. The words were an echo of the desperation I'd heard from her friends and family. A final, desperate play for reconciliation. I just looked at her, and for the first time in a long time, I felt absolutely nothing. No anger, no sadness, no pity. She was a stranger. Me. Qley, I don't think you were confused. I think you knew exactly what you were doing. And you're right. You did say some terrible things. But what you did was so much worse. It wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. You chose someone else. You chose to disrespect me and everything we built. You chose to laugh at me for being safe and boring. And I'm okay with that. I really am. Because you were right about one thing. She looked at me, a flicker of hope in her tear-filled eyes. What? Me? I don't play it safe anymore. I took a risk. I walked away from a toxic life and built a new one. I built a life full of passion and genuine love, not just stability and material things. You wanted someone who wasn't afraid to live life. Well, I am that man now. I gestured around the room. This is my life now, and you don't belong in it. You never did. I hope you find what you're looking for. But whatever you do, please, don't look for it here. Because I'm not here anymore. I walked away from her, back to Amelia, back to my new life. I never saw Qley again. Her karma wasn't my doing. It was hers alone. All I did was get out of the way. And that, I've learned, is the most powerful revenge of all. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.